Okay, guys, so this is obviously I'm gonna start having these calls every Tuesday, and we'll start building it. We're working out the glitches right now. Obviously, you guys should not be part of all that stuff that we just went through. It should have been done beforehand. So when we come on, we're just boom, we're going. But okay, we'll start off now. Welcome everybody, and thank you for coming onto the call. This is our Tuesday call for the Real Abundance, Get Real Abundance, and thank you very much for coming. Tonight, the topic is, one is we're going to talk about why the real water or the real electron concentrate is so powerful and effective for your body to help you have optimal health and really enhance your immune system. And then two, why our compensation plan is so powerful. So we'll start off with the real electron concentrate. And you know, right now in the marketplace, it's all the buzz about alkalinity. Alkalinity, there's a number of alkaline waters and people talk about alkalinity. However, alkalinity was the term that was coined. You can alkalize water with just minerals, but the big thing is, or the most important aspect of it is if it's negative ionized. And most alkaline waters are not negative ionized. Now, invariably, when I explain this to new people, they immediately come back and say, oh, there's so much alkaline water out there. Yes, there's a lot of alkaline water, but there's very little negative ionization. And the negative ions are what's so powerful. Now, this is how this came about. About 40 years ago, these negative ionizing machines got really popular in Japan. And about 10 or 15 years ago, a company called Kangen came over and started selling these negative ionized machines. And they cost $4,000 to $5,000 and they sit on your countertop. Well, you run the water through your tap water through the machines, and then out of one side goes acidic, the other side goes alkaline, negative ionized water. So they branded it alkaline water. They should have branded it negative ionized water, but they did alkalized water. So it makes this great water, but the problem is that it's not stable. So you have to buy a $4,000 or $5,000 machine, and you have to drink the water within a day or day and a half, or it's not stable. We, on the other hand, are the only company that's created a negative ionized concentrate that is stable. So you can take your real electron concentrate, give it a little squirt into any good purified water, and boom, you have negative ionized alkaline water. One of the things I want to emphasize, though, is you need to make sure you put it in a good purified water. If you put it in tap water, you're just then putting in all the crap that's in the tap water into your system. You don't want to do that. You want a good purified water. However, good purified waters are usually very acidic and very positive charged because they've been stripped of electrons during the purification process. So why are these negative ions or these electrons so important? Well, there's a video on our website. If you go to the compensation page on the website, on the getrealabundance.com website, go to the compensation page, and there's a video. Go to the the product page, and there's a video that explains all about the negative ionization. I'm not going to go into that right now, but what I wanted to share with you is the negative ionization is featured, one, in a book called The Miraculous Properties. And DeMarco, can you go ahead and put that up? Here's the cover of The Miraculous Properties of Ionized Water. It's the definitive guide to the world's healthiest substance. You know what, it doesn't say a definitive guide to a healthy substance or a good substance. It says the world's healthiest substance. Because our bodies are 70 plus, some people say 80, 90% water, that is the main part of what our bodies are made of. So if you have good water in your body, and I'm going to show you why, then you can be really healthy. Now, just a quick overview. I'm not going to go deeply into this, but can you put up the study that was done on page 123? In the back of this book, there's many, many pages, studies that show how powerful this water is. Well, look at this right here. This one study showed that drinking ionized water, you have declines in blood sugar levels in diabetic patients. For type 2 diabetic people, big benefits. Improvement in peripheral circulation, diabetic gangrene. Problem with diabetes is people lose their circulations, and especially in their feet. This helps move that. Declines in uric levels in patients with gout. I challenge anybody that has gout to drink our water a couple liters or a couple liters with the negative ionization for 3 days and see what happens to their gout. Improvements in liver function, improvements in gastrodural ulcers, improvements in hypertension and hypotension. How can it help both high blood pressure and low blood pressure? Because it's not just treating a symptom, it's treating the actual cause. Allergic disorders, diarrhea, bowel paralysis, even serum bilirubin, which is jaundice in kids, it helps. So this water does amazing, amazing things. And this is just this one study. This book has many, many, many studies. And we can't say that we can treat, cure, prevent any disease, but negative ionized water has many studies that shows what it does. Okay, let me get back to this. So why is this water so powerful? How many of you out there have ever drank water after working out hard and they felt this bloat? Well, the bloat is caused because you're putting in your body acidic, very positive charged water. And here's what happens on a cellular level. Marco, can you put up the aquaporons now? Scientists used to believe up until the early 2000s that we absorbed on a cellular level through what was called osmosis. What that meant is an area of high concentration went to an area of low concentration through the cell wall. Well, in the early 2000s, they found out that's not true. We actually have these little water channels called aquaporons. And these aquaporons are what ushers in the water. Well, if you look at the aquaporin, it has a little plus plus gatekeeper. See that right in the middle, a little plus plus? Well, think of a magnet. If you have a positive magnet and you put it next to a positive magnet, what happens? They repel. So if your water is positive charged and you have a plus plus gatekeeper, what's it going to do? It's going to repel that water. So remember that bloat? What your body's actually doing is trying to push that water away. It doesn't want it. Because why? Because water that is positive charged is actually a free radical, and it causes oxidative stress to our bodies. Again, I'll explain that in another video, but our cell walls doesn't want that water in there because it damages the cells. It doesn't want that water to come in that's very positive charge to hit our RNA or DNA or mitochondria or any other of our cell functions and kill it. So what it does is it pushes it away. If it's a negative charge, though, what happens when you have a positive to a negative magnet? Sucks it right in. So what happens now, this aquaporin channel just sucks the water right in. And that's why when you drink real water or with the real electron concentrate, you just feel it evaporate into your body before it even hits your stomach, because these aquaporin channels are just saying, yes, we can get hydrated, and they're just sucking it in right away. Now, if that wasn't enough to show you, even more science is developing that's proving that what's going on a cellular level, you need negative ionized water if you want optimum health and optimum cellular hydration. The next study came from Dr. Gerald Pollack out of the University of Washington. Now, what he found, Dr. Pollack found from the University of Washington, is that around our cell walls, the water actually separates to where close to the cell wall, you have negative water. As it gets further away, it gets positive and more acidic. DeMarco, can you put the easy water graphic up? So if our cells are actually like the magnet separating the water, if you're drinking a lot of positive water, how many of those negative ions can you get close to, or this negative charged water can you get close to the cell wall? Not very much. So you become hydrated on a cellular level. However, if you're drinking negative ionized water, that buffer zone can be much larger. DeMarco, can you put up the easy water screen? There you go. So you see this is an example of the EZ zone, which is known as the exclusion zone. So if you have the cell wall, which is that hydrophilic material on the left, you see a small area where it's negative charged water. And then the further you get away, it's this positive charged water. An example is there too about, it's showing like a vein or a cell wall too, where you'll have the negative ionized water around it, and then away from it, it'll be positive. So this is more science that is establishing that our bodies only wants negative ionized water going to it on a cellular level. So that's the explanation we have of why our water is so powerful, because it hydrates you so well on a cellular level, where positive charged water is free radical and also oxidative, which causes stress on our body. So if you have more negative ionized water, you have the good stuff, which can bring in nutrients and get toxins out and keep your cells working optimal so that your immune system can then take care of you. Okay? So that's in a nutshell is the science that's showing why our negative ionization in water is so powerful. Now, I wanted to go into and why we designed our comp plan and why it is so powerful and will help you create real abundance. Now, generally in home-based businesses, there's something that's very important. You have to get people to make money quickly, and two, you have to reward producers. Eric Worre, who is the largest, DeMarco, you can take this screen off now. Eric Worre, who's the biggest guru in network marketing, says that generally, if people get a check within 3 months, a small check, no matter how big it is, within 3 months, 80% will stay in a program. That's provided the product's good and useful. However, if people do not get a check within the first 3 months, 70 to 80% will cancel. We call that attrition. That means people getting out of the program. Attrition is not a good thing because that means the money's not generating through the downline to create checks for the people above. So how do you eliminate attrition? Well, you have to have a comp plan that helps the people get checks very quickly and in a fair manner. So generally in the industry, there's 3 types of comp plan. One type of comp plan, which is the oldest, is called a uni-level. And what the way that works is you just sign people up all in an order around, and then you go left, left, you just real wide on your first level. What happens is invariably is most of the people just get discouraged because they get no people coming underneath them, so they cancel. To remedy that problem, the industry came up with what's called a binary comp plan. You only have 1 or 2 legs, binary, 1, 2. And what happens with that is that you start signing people up. Other leg stays very small, so you have thousands of distributors on one side and very few distributors on the other side, and that's called a runaway leg. So you don't get paid very much because you have to have a balanced payout. To overcome that, we've come up with what's called the forced matrix. And what a forced matrix does is you have 1 level, 1, 2, and then the next level you have 2, 3, 4. So it forces energy downward initially. So with that forced energy, it creates checks. Now on our website, if you go to getrealabundance.com and you go to the compensation section, there's a complete outline of how our compensation works. But what I want to emphasize is it was designed to do this: create momentum early so people can get checks right away. So because of the forced matrix, one of the big attributes of it is you get what's called spill. That means people from above sign people up and they spill down below you. Instead of going real wide like the uni level, you have people spilling down beneath you. And that means initially you can get a small check without doing pretty much anything. Now, I like to point out it's a small check because we don't want to reward people for doing nothing in a big manner, but we want that small check so they'll stay active and it'll continue to generate or stay in the system, right? So what we've done then is we design it that by gradient steps, if you continue to do something, you get more and more compensation. So the first thing you need to do is sign up at least 3 people and upgrade to an associate. Well, if you upgrade to the associate, that means you're buying $100 a month worth of product, which puts more money into the system. But the key thing is you have to sign up 3 people. Why 3 people? Because the third person will create spill. And what happens when you get somebody falling underneath you? Well, if your upline's smart, they give you a call and say, hey, you just got a distributor underneath you. And what's that going to do? It's going to make you excited and motivated. Hey, didn't do anything. I got somebody underneath me already. I'm going to start getting paid on it. So that's why we do it. But you don't get paid below the 4th level, so your check will not get big because we don't want to take money away from those that are producing. If you do bring in 3, though, and upgrade, then you start getting paid to 8 levels deep. So it's a gradient step where if you do a little bit, you get paid more, you do a little bit more. The next key feature is that we have these bonus pools where the big producers get paid quite a bit if they get in the bonus pools. Again, I don't want to get into all the intricacy of the comp plan at this time because it's on a video, but I definitely wanted to share with you why it was designed like it is. It gets people paid checks quickly so they don't have attrition, and then we have systems which reward the producers. If they do more by gradient, they'll get paid more. So that in a nutshell is why we designed the comp plan like it is and why Real Water is so effective. So we're going to end off our Zoom call today, but I want to tell you that DeMarco is going to be having a call on Thursday at 5 o'clock. Every Thursday at 5 o'clock, you'll get an invitation. And what he's going to do then is go over techniques and systems that will help you build the business online, not so much mouth to mouth, but online. So you're doing it passively until people are interested, and then you can follow up with those people. Okay, DeMarco, do you have any final words you want to say before we check out?
No, I appreciate James is finally just got into the room, and a few of my other people came in here late. But no, and I may end up talking Brent into doing a few minutes before my talk on Thursday. But on Thursday, I will actually show you how you can earn money by using Facebook and Instagram. So I'm going to get into the nuts and bolts of that. I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to do it. I'm going to actually perform what I want you to do. So I'll share that with you. And the only other thing I'd like to share with you is start joining 5 to 10 groups a day. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. If you know how to join Facebook groups, join 5 to 10 a day. Facebook allows you to join up to 6,000 groups. I'm in over 3,000 some groups. Those groups can be an asset to you where you don't ever have to spend a bunch of money advertising, and you can generate leads with those groups. So I'm going to suggest everybody start joining 5 to 10 groups a day. Okay,
excellent. Well, our purpose is to enlighten you and educate you, but keep it under a half an hour, so we're not sitting here, we're not just talking and droning on. So with that, DeMarco will be having his call every Thursday. My calls are going to be every Tuesday, and we're going to continue to build that. So thank you very much for coming on. And if you have any additional questions, offline, we're always available. So thank you very much. Oh, and these videos will be recorded, and they'll be on the website as well. So if you have people that you want to have watch them, they can go back later and watch them online.
And thank you. It will be up tomorrow, actually, Brent.
I just signed someone up yesterday.
Excellent. Well done, Stefan.
So, all right.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you for getting on.
Take it easy.
We're close.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.